PSG in 2022 according to Football Manager 2017. One of the richest clubs in the world, PSG are still splashing the cash in the year 2022 and they're being rewarded for their spending, winning every domestic trophy possible, bar one French League Cup in 2020 when they were beaten in the final by Monaco. That means they've won 5 league titles and 9 domestic trophies during this simulation, and they've even tasted European success, winning the Europa League in 2021, the Champions League in 2022 and then the European Super Cup. And who masterminded it all? Unai Emery, who is still in charge of the French Giants, which comes as no surprise since he's barely lost a game during his Football Manager tenure. With the huge amounts of money spent, PSG have seen some incredible footballers, some of which have come and gone. They broke the world transfer record by paying £114 million for Rachid Bazoer and then selling him just a year later for £73 million to Man City in one of the most bizarre transfer deals ever. We've also seen Mauro Icardi, Christian Pulisic, Jordi Alba and Inaki Williams come and go at the Parc des Princes. So let's look at PSG's starting 11 in 2022. In goal is Ederson. The man who Man City have just splashed out on is in between the Paris sticks in 2022, having arrived for £28 million. He's been a safe pair of hands, albeit helping with the tight defence in front of him. So maybe Man City's goalkeeping woes might finally be over, maybe. Right back is Serge Aurier. One position that Unai Emery hasn't bought a new player for is right back. Ivory Coast international Serge Aurier has been the immovable object on the right side of defence and is now one of the most experienced members of the side at the age of 29. Centre back is Marquinhos. Another player who is still with the club in 2022, Marquinhos has been colossal at the back, but also a creative force, racking up 10 assists in the 2020-21 season, which doesn't even make sense for a centre back. His former partner Thiago Silva has just retired, and PSG may struggle without him. 4 seasons in a row, Thiago Silva averaged higher than an 8 rating, which is just incredible and so difficult to achieve, as Football Manager addicts can attest to. Next up it's Gabriel Loria Calvo, my word that's a mouthful. The first regen in this side, the Argentinian is billed as PSG's key player at just 23 years of age and only cost the club £6.25 million, which is startlingly cheap for this starting 11. With ratings of 18 for tackling and positioning, as well as 17s for heading and marking, it's easy to see why he's rated so highly. Left back is Rafael Guerreiro. Back to the big money signings, Guerreiro cost PSG £32 million from Borussia Dortmund in 2018, and he's been a roaring success, especially as an attacking fullback. Those of you who have been watching the Confederations Cup can see he's a little bit shaky defensively, but going forward he's a real menace, and he's been exactly that on Footy Manager, notching 12 assists last season, but to be fair, he probably doesn't have to do much defending. In the middle it's Marco Verratti. Yes, the Italian midfielder is still with the club after 11 years, and the club's longest serving player. He's won so many medals during his time in Paris, he's had to have his house extended to store them all. I mean, that's probably a lie, but it's sad to see Verratti still at PSG from a personal point. Surely we'd all love to see Marco Verratti in the Premier League, or even a league that is just slightly competitive. Unnecessary dig at Ligue 1? Tick. Next it's Alexandre Rodriguez. A second regen, the Portuguese midfielder is just 21 years old and cost PSG £82 million from Man United in the summer of 2022, so it's yet to be seen how good he actually is in the French capital. But you'd like to think he's half decent for that kind of money, but then again, his average rating at Old Trafford was 6.7. Yikes. If he's not up to scratch, then Renato Sanchez is on the bench, who cost even more money, a mere £83 million in 2019 from Bayern Munich, earning £215,000 a week. Imagine that, earning nearly £250,000 every week to sit on the bench in a city that has a Disneyland. Living the dream. On the right wing it's Gabriel Barbosa. The huge transfer fees continue, with Barbosa costing £76 million, scoring 34 league goals during his first 2 seasons with the club. The Brazilian has been a constant source of goals on Football Manager for years now, but God knows if he's any good in reality. In his first season with Inter Milan, he only scored once in 9 games, but it's a bit early to put him in the Freddie Adu category. On the left it's Anthony Martial. The moody Frenchman is the most expensive player in this starting 11, costing £85 million from Man United in 2018, and he's deadly in front of goal, something that can't really be said for him in the Premier League. Since arriving, he's scored 79 league goals, so either he's reaching his potential or he's just up against naff defenders in Ligue 1. Second unnecessary dig at Ligue 1? Tick. In attacking midfield, it's Isco. At 30 years old, he's the oldest player in this team, but age is just a number, and last season Isco scored 13 goals and provided 14 assists. Of course, he cost a shed load of money, arriving for Man United like so many of these players for £73 million. Basically, Manchester United are PSG's feeder club, and in exchange for their best players, PSG give them buckets of cash to help with the running costs. And finally, it's Jay Gomez. The next big star to potentially come out of Benfica, Gomez is only 23 years old in 2022 and arrived at the club for £31.5 million, which could eventually rise to £45 million. However, he played just 8 games in his first season, scoring only once. Now aged 35, Edinson Cavani is no longer with PSG and is back with Napoli, still scoring for fun despite his ageing legs. While former PSG star Zlatan Ibrahimovic is retired and seemingly removed himself from the game completely. Probably a film star or something. Whatever he's doing, he's probably better than you at it. So that's PSG in 2022 according to Football Manager 2017. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe.